Welcome back, you guys, to Andy the Banker Show. Now, I am a stock investor, and I actually am a blue chip stock investor where I invest in particular just blue chip stocks where I buy and hold them. However, there's something going on in the market this week that I gotta talk about with you guys, and that is about Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin is having a crazy time right now. Bitcoin is trading at $88,000. Now, what's so amazing about this is that just a day ago, literally an overnight, it was trading at 80,000. In a single day, it basically went up by $8,000. And it continues to do so at this parabolic rate where nothing can seem to be stopping Bitcoin. It's just going up and up to the moon. Now, here's a couple of reasons why I think we're getting to this point. Why is Bitcoin so popular? The first thing is the presidential election, right? Trump won, and Trump has made so many positive, bullish remarks about Bitcoin. One of the things is that he is going to fire Gary Gensler. Now, for people that don't know who is Gary Gensler, he is currently the chairperson of our U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. And the complaints that a lot of our cryptocurrency companies have about Gary Gensler is that they are stating that he is not providing clear guidance on what is, because the companies like Robinhood, Coinbase, they're stating on their side, hey, we want to be compliant. We want to follow the rules. We need there to be clear and structure to these rules. And what happens is that when they're not following the rules that apparently they are not so clear, Gary Gensler goes out and goes to the lawsuits against these corporations. As a result, that's why the crypto markets have been so positive, bullish news once they've heard about Trump winning and the news that Trump is vowing to fire Gary Gensler on the first day of his administration. Now, the validity of that, I don't actually know how 100% it is going to be if Trump can fire Gary Gensler because his term is expiring in 2026. So we'll have to see. Now, when I saw this information about Bitcoin going to $88,000, you guys, the first thing that came to my mind was this lady back in 2021 called Kathy Wood. And she had told us that Bitcoin was going to go to $100,000. And I remember at the time I was thinking to myself, that sounds like a funny joke. I'm not really taking that so seriously because let's take a look in 2021. What was the price? The price of Bitcoin at the time was around $65,000. And to think that it was going to go to $100,000, I I couldn't believe it. But here we are, where we are at almost the doorstep of $100,000. And it's not just Bitcoin, you guys. It is Dogecoin. It is essentially all of these coins have been making a huge surge into it. And the bullish momentum in Bitcoin, everybody can see that. Where they don't want to have FOMO, right? They don't want to miss out on this huge run. You can see just bullish buying where investors, even though the price is getting higher and higher and higher, they keep on going. Now, I wanted to review her portfolio a bit, Kathy Wood, because Kathy Wood, the past few years has not been so good for her. All right. Majority of her portfolio, right, the stocks that's in her portfolio, she holds 15%, approximately 15% of Tesla, about 9% of Roku, about 9% of Coinbase, 6% of Roblox, 5% Palantir. And all I can say is that all of these five companies, just in the past a week, Tesla has gone up, I don't know, 40%. Palantir has gone gangbusters. Coinbase has also gone gangbusters. She's finally getting the last laugh in this moment because her portfolio this just week alone probably had a big pull forward. And I gotta congratulate her on that, on how she is able to be so bullish or on these stocks and getting rewarded for it. Now, just besides the Gary Gensler news, I got three separate reasons for why I think Bitcoin is deserving of this price point. All right, why is it going so high? The first reason is the reason of taxes. All right, the corporate taxes are expected to go down. As a result, there's more liquidity in the market, more bullishness. Right now, I know the law has not been passed yet. However, when you control both Republican presidency and Republican Congress, doesn't seem so difficult to pass that. The second thing is the less regulation aspect of investing. Like, for example, right, Trump firing Gary Gensler or making the claim that he's going to fire Gary Gensler, supposed to be having more mergers and acquisitions. That's bullish for the stock market. People are willing to take more risks in the market because of that. And then the third reason for why I see such a post-election surge, is like a huge surge right after election, is that the rates are going down. Right, we just had a rate decrease back on last Thursday. That was on November 7th, and I'm expecting more rate cuts to come. We'll have to see. That one's not 100% done deal, but Trump, he does prefer lower rates, and I do think we're going to have lower rates to come. So with those three things going into post-election, I can see why the stock market is surging so darn much. Now, Dogecoin has done something that's a little bit more different than Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin has gone up a ton, but Dogecoin has gone up parabolic. All right, 121% in a single week, you guys. That means whoever put their money in Dogecoin, they literally doubled it, more than doubled it in the past week alone. And that type of enthusiasm in the market is that's the one that's causing so many investors to trip over themselves to buy these Dogecoin, to buy these Bitcoin. Am I buying into it? Absolutely not. All right, I am definitely. This is something that kind of scares me when investors are getting greedy. I do get very fearful, especially fear greed like this. My fear is matched, right? I am as fearful as 120% up in a single week. Now, this is great for me to see, and I am going to be still bullish on the market because there's this one fear of me. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I can't tell the future, but there's this one fear of me that is thinking about somebody pulling the rug on this market. Right? I don't know what type of catalyst will be. I don't know who it'll be, but some sort of big whale that pulls the rug, and as a result, a lot of people that bought into Dogecoin or Bitcoin at the top, they could be having huge losses. So as a result, I hope I'm wrong, but that's just a fear I have. So as a result, I'm watching this from the sidelines. I am not investing into cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. Now, I may consider into it if it has a big pull down. Typically, every couple years, there's a big pull down in these type of stocks, just like you see one here from 2021 to 2022. Now, in terms of my portfolio, any changes that have been done is that I have added a little bit more into Microsoft. Microsoft, surprisingly, is currently at a state where it's resting for the time being, right? The stock has not gone up as high as I expected, which is totally fine because I remember beginning of 2024, they had a huge jump. As a result, I think it's fine that it's taking a break, and I do think it's set up for potential catalyst. Now, people ask me about Microsoft all the time, like, Andy, why are you so bullish on Microsoft when the stock for the last 3 months, let's take a look here, has stayed the same, right? It's gone up by 2%, but stay similar, whereas you see other companies like the Palantirs, the Nvidias of the world, the Bitcoins of the world, just racing over time. And to me, I thought about it and I realized I am a bit more of a conservative investor. I don't like to chase into these shiny type of object. I like to invest in companies that are compounding machines, companies that are able to build up their revenues and profits time over time without needing huge catalysts. And that's one of the things that I like about Microsoft, where I know there's this huge craze on AI, and Microsoft is an AI play. But something that one of my thesis on Microsoft is that there's going to be a bigger play on the cloud space, I think. Because in order for you to utilize all of these AI data, you need to have a place to store all these data. And where else better than Microsoft Azure? Right now, the stock's not doing a ton, but I think investors will come in to realize that, hey, this is a company that is growing in the cloud business, that is just growing organically in the regular business as well, with lowering expenses. Now, because of my earlier point I made on why the markets are so bullish because of the lowering expected tax rates, the lowering regulation, and the rates coming down expected to be for the future, I am still bullish on the market, and I am going to continue to keep on buying more into stocks because at this moment in time, I'll tell you how I honestly feel, which is that with stocks, it feels like I could pick any stocks and the market will go up. The reason for it is because it when you have an environment for investors where it's easy for them to merge an acquisition, it's you're gonna have lower corporate taxes, you're gonna have less regulation. With those type of environments in play, that's why I am so bullish on these stocks. Now, I do discipline myself. I'm not gonna be going into a stock, for example, right? I'm happy to buy into companies that are, let's say, 5% up, maybe 10% up, could be, but I'm not comfortable buying into a company that's 44% up in a single week. And that to me, when I think about Tesla right here, 44% up in a single week just because of the election. That to me is a little bit too much. And I think at a certain point, and I don't know what the catalyst is, right? There will be some sort of catalyst where some people will take profits. Because of that, I always get feared of kind of buying at the top, especially when you have a huge gain like this, where it's enticing for investors to take into profits. And with that, you guys, thank you so much for watching this week's episode, and I will see you on the next episode. Thank you.